calling you a radical. USURY America. So you know I've been out of commission for a while with cancer. So I got to show you this. Just a few years I haven't been able to do any plaster work. You know, I'm a plasterer, and so I did a little job for a guy yesterday. So I come in here to buy some materials. This in the last few years, this is the true real inflation rate. I want to show you this. This is it. Just a few years ago, a gallon of this was $8. So now a quart's $8. This is how they exploited the I mean, it's so outrageous. Let me show you something, because I mix my own. I use my own. I don't buy any premix shit. And so silica sand, which we used to screen it by screen in the old days of silica sand. So those are 40, 50-pound bags now. When a 100-pound bag was less than that. Just a couple years ago. Okay, cement. Cement, so set. You want to talk inflation? I started plastering way back, and you know my finance career, everything that I've been about in my teaching career. So a bag of cement set at basically $5 for 30 years, from the 70s clear to there was no inflation. In 2000, this is when this all started. In you know the early 2000s, it went crazy. So so that's what they've done. You say, oh, there's no inflation. The UPI or the PPI. You know, the CPI is so manipulative. It's like how they counting unemployment. You have to actively seeking unemployment. It's such a scam. USURY America, you've been had. There's a salmon collapse. They're propagating more nuclear. You know, now the new swamp, Rick Perry. I mean, these little teeny bags of cement now, $7. When just a few years ago, a 100-pound bag, 90-pound bag, excuse me, was freaking $5. Those are 40-pound bags. $6 now. That's less than half. That's less than half. The glue is the one that gets me. You know, you need that glue in there, and so, well, for what I do, you know, I cover up, but you know, like I said, and by the way, it almost killed me. It just shows you what an incredible athlete I was. When a gallon, that's a quart. How many quarts are in a freaking gallon? This a couple years ago. So USURY America. I'm doing a set on USURY and how you know. I just went to cash the check he gave me from Chase, his check, their bank, $8 fee, and the woman goes off on me. I'm like, really? You're going to charge a fee to cash your own check? And then I says, boy, that's the problem. You guys support all these banksters. You know, you low-level employees. Oh, I'm a manager. Whoopee, whoopee. USURY America. I mean, this is just all in the last few years. Freaking the USURY's out of control. By the way, this is my whole family's property owned this. This is the ancient Shoshone burial ground where the Home Depot in Ogden, Utah is on 12th Street, which is the old ancient Shoshone burial. Our family used to own it. Of course, they didn't believe in inherited wealth. I didn't inherit any of it. I've worked for every freaking dime I've ever had in my life, and I mean hard. By the way, doing that job yesterday almost killed my ass.